The stench hit Olivia before she crossed the threshold. Old takeout containers, stale whiskey, the ghost of expensive cologne clinging to discarded silk shirts. She tied her hair back tighter, snapped on her gloves, and stepped into the chaos. The penthouse was a contradiction. Marble countertops buried under pizza boxes. A watch worth more than her car tossed carelessly beside empty glasses. She whistled low, scrubbing at hardened grease. Must be nice to throw money around like trash. What she didn't know, across the city, Jackson Everett watched her through the security feed. He wasn't supposed to. He'd hired the service to avoid exactly this kind of attention. But there was something about the way she moved, muttering curses at his mess, treating his palace like a battlefield she was determined to win. She paused at a framed photo on the shelf. His parents. The only real thing in this gilded cage. Jackson's jaw tightened. Most people ignored it. She studied it like it mattered. He closed the laptop, pulse unsteady. By the time Olivia locked up, the penthouse gleamed. She left without a second thought, unaware that the man who owned it had already decided she was different. 2 days later, her phone buzzed. J. Everett has requested you personally. Weekly service. Double rate. Olivia stared at the message, something cold prickling down her spine. Nobody requested her. Nobody even knew her name. She hit accept anyway. She needed the money. What she didn't need was the feeling that she just walked into something she couldn't walk out of. 3 weeks. 3 Fridays of the same ritual. Olivia cleaned. Jackson watched. She didn't know he studied her through the cameras, learning the way she hummed off-key while scrubbing floors, how she always straightened that photo of his parents before leaving. Then the pattern broke. Olivia arrived on a Thursday by mistake, key already in the lock when the door swung open from the inside. She froze. He was supposed to be gone. That was the arrangement. But there he stood, barefoot in an unbuttoned shirt, hair disheveled, eyes red-rimmed and hollow. "You're early," he said, voice rough. "I'm sorry, I thought today was." "It's fine." He stepped aside. "Come in." She shouldn't have. Every instinct screamed to leave. But something in his face stopped her. The same brokenness she saw in her own mirror. She entered slowly, supplies clutched like a shield. Jackson poured whiskey at 10 in the morning. His hands shook. "My father died yesterday," he said to the glass. "Heart attack. Quick. Clean. Just like he'd want it." Olivia's breath caught. The man in the photo. The only human thing in this cold fortress. "I'm so sorry." "Don't be. We barely spoke." He drank deep. "Funny. I built an empire to prove something to him. Now he's gone and it all feels like air." She should have stayed silent. Should have left him to his grief. Instead, she heard herself speak. "My mom died when I was 19. Cancer. I dropped out of school to take care of her, burned through everything we had. After, I couldn't even afford to bury her the way she wanted." Jackson turned, really looking at her for the first time. "So I work. 3 years of cleaning other people's messes because I couldn't fix my own." Her voice cracked. "You think your empire is air? Try building nothing while drowning in someone else's medical debt." Silence stretched between them, fragile and sharp. Then Jackson crossed the space between them in 3 strides. His hand caught her wrist, gentle but desperate. "What's your name?" "Olivia. Olivia Grant." "Olivia." He said it like a prayer. "Will you stay? Just for today. I don't want to be alone." She should have said no. She stayed. They talked until the sun set, 2 broken people sharing scars in a penthouse that suddenly felt less empty. When she finally left at midnight, Jackson walked her to the door. Same time next week, she asked. No. His eyes held hers. Have dinner with me. Tomorrow. As people, not as whatever this arrangement was. Olivia's heart hammered. This was a line she couldn't uncross. Okay, she whispered. The door closed between them. Neither slept that night. 6 months blurred together like a fever dream. Dinner became dinners. Conversations became confessions. Jackson pulled Olivia into his world of glass towers and power lunches, and she dragged him into hers, late-night diners and rooftop stargazing. She made him laugh. He made her feel seen. The night he kissed her in the rain outside her apartment, Olivia thought maybe broken people could build something whole. She was wrong. It started with a phone call. Olivia was in Jackson's penthouse, making coffee in a worn t-shirt of his, when his phone lit up on the counter. She wasn't snooping. The message just appeared. Ethan, did you get what you needed from the cleaner girl? Time to move on before this gets messy. Her blood turned to ice. Another message followed. Ethan, the bet was 6 months. You won. $50,000 is yours. Now end it before she gets attached. The mug slipped from her fingers, shattering across marble. Jackson emerged from the bedroom, saw her face, saw the phone. Olivia, wait. A bet. Her voice was hollow. I was a bet. It's not what you think. Then what is it, Jackson? She spun on him, tears burning. Tell me there wasn't money involved. Tell me your friend didn't dare you to see how long you could slum it with the help. His silence confirmed everything. It started that way, he admitted, each word like broken glass. Ethan dared me after I mentioned you. Said I couldn't make someone like you fall for someone like me. It was stupid, arrogant. It was cruel. She grabbed her clothes, shoving them into her bag with shaking hands. I told you about my mother. About my debt. About everything I'm ashamed of. And you just, what? Took notes for the punchline? No. He reached for her. Olivia, I fell in love with you. Everything after that first month was real. She jerked away from his touch. Real? You've been lying to me for half a year. That's the realest thing about you. Please. Let me explain. Let me fix this. You can't fix this, Jackson. You can't buy your way out of what you did to me. She made it to the door before his next words stopped her cold. I paid off your debt. All of it. The medical bills, the student loans, everything. It's gone. Olivia turned slowly, horror washing over her. You what? Last month. I had my accountant handle it quietly. I thought. You thought you could buy me. The realization crushed her. That's all I ever was to you. A charity case. A project. That's not true. Then why didn't you tell me? Why hide it? Her voice rose. Because you knew I'd refuse. Because you knew I'd see it for what it is, you trying to own me like you own everything else. Jackson's face crumbled. I love you. No. Olivia's tears finally fell. You love the idea of me. The poor girl you could save. But I didn't need saving, Jackson. I needed respect. I needed honesty. She opened the door. Olivia, please. Don't leave like this. She looked back one final time, memorizing the man she thought she knew. Goodbye, Jackson. The door closed. In the hallway, Olivia collapsed against the wall, gasping for air. Her phone buzzed. A bank notification. Her debt balance, $0. She'd finally escaped the chains of her past. But the price was her heart. 2 months of silence. Olivia tried to rebuild. New apartment. New job. New routine. But every morning she woke up reaching for someone who wasn't there. The debt was gone. She was free. She'd never felt more trapped. Then her phone rang. Unknown number. Miss Grant? This is Rebecca Chen, Mr. Everett's attorney. Olivia's stomach dropped. I don't want to hear from him. This isn't about reconciliation. It's about his company. There's been an investigation. Someone's been embezzling millions through ghost accounts. The trail leads back to Mr. Everett's credentials. Why are you telling me this? Because the evidence is being handed to federal prosecutors tomorrow morning. Unless someone can prove Jackson was framed. Rebecca's voice lowered. His business partner, Ethan Caldwell, is behind it. We have proof, but Jackson refuses to use it. Why would he protect the man who ruined us? Because exposing Ethan means exposing the bet. It means your name, your relationship, everything becomes public record in the investigation. Jackson won't do that to you. The world tilted. He's going to prison to protect me? He's sacrificing everything because he loves you. But if you have any information, anything that could help, now is the time. Olivia hung up, her mind racing. That night, she broke into Jackson's penthouse using the key she'd never returned. He was there, sitting in the dark with an empty whiskey bottle. You shouldn't be here, he said without turning. I know about Ethan. About the charges. Rebecca had no right to tell you. She had every right. Olivia crossed to him. You're letting him destroy you. I'm not letting your name get dragged through a federal investigation. His eyes were dead. I already took enough from you. So you'll take my choice too? She grabbed his face, forcing him to look at her. You'll go to prison, lose everything, and I'm supposed to just live with that? You're supposed to live. Period. Move on. Find someone who deserves you. I don't want someone who deserves me. I want the idiot who made a stupid bet and fell in love anyway. Her voice broke. I want the man who's so determined to protect me that he'll sacrifice everything, even when I don't want him to. Olivia. I'm testifying. I have texts from that night, screenshots of Ethan's messages. I can prove the timeline, prove you weren't involved. It'll destroy your privacy. The media will tear you apart. Let them. She pressed her forehead to his. You paid my debt. Now I'm paying yours. We're even. We'll never be even. I broke your trust. Then spend the rest of your life earning it back. Jackson pulled her close, breathing her in like oxygen. I don't deserve you. Probably not. But you're stuck with me anyway. The next morning, they walked into the federal building together. Ethan was in the lobby, confident and smug, until he saw them. His face went white. You can't do this, Ethan hissed at Jackson. We built this together. No. Jackson's voice was steel. You stole. I built. There's a difference. I'll bury you both. I'll make sure everyone knows about your sick little bet, how you manipulated that girl. Olivia stepped forward, voice calm and deadly. Try it. Because when they investigate you, they'll find out you didn't just steal money. You stole identities. Including mine. That's how you framed him, isn't it? You used my information from his files. Ethan's confident mask cracked. You can't prove that. Actually, Rebecca appeared behind them, holding a file. We can. Your mistake was using her social security number to open one of the ghost accounts. It's all here. Federal agents materialized from the hallway. Ethan's eyes darted between them, cornered and desperate. You'll regret this, he spat at Jackson. No. Jackson's hand found Olivia's. I won't. As they led Ethan away in handcuffs, Olivia sagged against Jackson. Is it over? The legal part? Almost. He turned her to face him. But us? That's just starting. If you'll have me. You're still an arrogant rich guy who made a terrible first impression. And you're still the woman who saved my life by cleaning my apartment. This is a terrible foundation for a relationship. Terrible, he agreed. She kissed him anyway. 1 year later. The penthouse looked different now. Still expensive, still glass and marble, but lived in. Olivia's books crowded the shelves next to Jackson's business journals. Her plants thrived on the windowsills. Photos of them together replaced the lonely picture of his parents, which now sat in a place of honor in the bedroom. Olivia walked in after her shift at the nonprofit she'd started, a foundation helping families with medical debt. Jackson had offered to fund it. She'd accepted, but only as a loan she was determined to repay. Some battles she still needed to fight herself. He was cooking. Actually cooking, not ordering in. She watched him from the doorway, this man who'd learned to be human again, and felt her heart swell. How long are you going to stand there? He asked without turning. How did you know? I always know when you're watching me. Just like you always knew I was watching you on those cameras. She crossed to him, wrapping her arms around his waist. I didn't know. Not at first. But you figured it out. You just didn't run. Maybe I liked being seen. He turned in her arms, and she saw it again, that raw vulnerability he only showed her. I got something today, he said quietly, pulling a small box from his pocket. Olivia's breath caught. Jackson, if that's what I think. It's not a ring. He opened it to reveal a key. It's worse. It's a choice. She stared at the key, confused. I bought the building where your mom used to live. The one you had to leave after she died. His voice roughened. I'm having it converted into affordable housing for families dealing with medical crises. But I need someone to run it. Someone who understands what it's like to lose everything and claw your way back. Tears blurred her vision. You bought an entire building. I bought a purpose. For both of us. He pressed the key into her palm. I'm not trying to fix you, Olivia. I'm trying to build something with you. Something that matters. This is insane. Completely. You're insane. Absolutely. She kissed him, tasting salt and hope and second chances. What about the ring? She whispered against his lips. The ring comes later. After you're sure you want to spend your life with an arrogant rich guy who started as your worst mistake. Best mistake, she corrected. Give it time. I'll probably do something stupid again. Probably. She pulled back, studying the key in her hand. My mom would have loved this. Knowing her struggle meant something. She'd be proud of you. Of who you became despite everything. We became, Olivia corrected. You changed too. You changed me. They stood in the penthouse that had brought them together, two broken people who'd decided being broken together was better than being whole alone. Outside, the city glittered with possibility. Inside, they had everything they needed. The key sat on the counter, a promise of tomorrows neither of them had expected. Jackson pulled her close. Thank you, he whispered into her hair. For what? For staying that first day. For coming back after I broke your heart. For saving me when I didn't deserve it. You're welcome. Now thank me by finishing dinner. I'm starving. He laughed, the sound warm and real, and Olivia realized this was it. Not a fairy tale ending. Something better. Something earned. Something real. Later that night, as they lay tangled together in sheets that smelled like both of them, Jackson traced patterns on her skin. Olivia? When I do ask, with the ring and everything, what will you say? She smiled into the darkness. Ask me and find out. That's not an answer. It's the only one you're getting tonight. He kissed her temple, and she felt his smile against her skin. Some questions didn't need immediate answers. Some futures were worth the wait. And some love stories started with a bet and ended with a choice. The choice to stay. The choice to fight. The choice to build something beautiful from something broken. Olivia fell asleep in Jackson's arms, debt-free, heart full, finally home. And in the morning, they'd start building their next chapter. Together. The end.